Hello eBay users, this is noahmbelli. I'm selling my PlayStation 3 console along with a couple other things. It's the backwards compatible model, so it will play PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games. Basically, as an overview, PlayStation 3s that are basically the fat model that have 4 USB ports are essentially backwards compatible. So that's just a little bit of history. It was originally the 20 gigabyte console, which all the ones that have the black right here were all the basically 20 gigabyte consoles, which was like the initial release console. So you are getting the first generation of the PlayStation 3 that was released, and I also included inside the console my PlayStation 3 fan mod. And again, I upgraded this, before I get onto this, I upgraded the internal hard drive to 60 gigabytes from the original 20 gigabyte hard drive that was inside it. So you will get the 60 gigabyte hard drive that is already installed, and it's inside the console. And I installed the fan module, as you can see here. You can adjust it to your liking. Basically what this module does is it allows you to override the system's default fan speed and increase it or decrease it to your liking. I do not recommend to tamper with the speed, since I did set it at a reasonable setting, and you will not develop any kind of overheating problems in the future. That is basically what this module is for, to avoid any kind of overheating problems that may arise from the PlayStation 3 prolonged use. Now let me just get started here to show you what how it sounds and how the console plays. I'm going to turn it on so you guys can see exactly what you're getting. Now you will receive the console with its factory settings, so you will see this upon plugging it in and turning it on, which is good, so you can set all your personal settings up the way you like. It also does come with this blue controller. It's a DualShock 3. I don't know if you can see that, but it says it right there on the left hand side. DualShock 3 6-axis, made by Sony, so that's good. Anyways, let me just sync it. And it is missing the rubber part on the left hand thing, but it still works. It works fine. There's no problem with it. So there's that. I'm just going through the initial settings here so you can see how the console functions. I am not including the USB charger wire, so you're gonna have to find one of those around the house, or buy one online. They're relatively cheap. You could probably get one for $1. And it also obviously has the wireless internet, which I will show you that it does pick up the wireless signals. Well, maybe not. Maybe it doesn't have wireless, so I could be wrong about that. Yeah, it doesn't have the wireless function, so you will have to use the Ethernet cable to connect it to the internet. So there's that, which I am including in the auction, so you will be able to connect it to the wired internet, to your modem, to your router, whatever the case may be. Alright, let me just get out of this so you can see the console in action. Now everything internally works exactly as it should. I made sure of that when I installed my PS3 fan module. What I did was, since this is an older style PS3, I cleaned out all the dust. I basically made it as shiny as possible inside and out, as much as I possibly could. And there is no buildup of anything in there right now. So it's basically like getting a brand new PlayStation 3, but way better than it is coming out of Sony's factory, because of the PlayStation 3 fan module, because the PlayStation 3s are known to overheat. And this isn't just like this one in particular. This is all Sony PlayStation 3s. They have a tendency to overheat and get the yellow light of death. But this console has never had that issue, so you don't have to worry about that, or it being repaired or refurbished. It's been used, but it hasn't been broken or anything like that. Everything internally is working exactly as it should. I also took it a step further, which I cleaned out the Blu-ray drive. I got all the dust out of there. I also cleaned the lens off with 100% alcohol, so that it basically, as soon as it touches it, it evaporates. So it's very clean, and should last you a very long time. Right now I'm going to show you this movie as an example, so that the Blu-ray functionality does work, which is the most important thing, because PlayStation games are by nature Blu-ray format now, I think. So there's that. So as you can see, it picks it up right away. As with all Blu-rays, it might take a couple of seconds to boot up to the actual, movie screen and whatnot. And I'm going to have to skip forward ahead here so that you can actually see the movie in action. So now, like I said about the PlayStation 3 fan module, you are welcome to adjust it, but I do not recommend doing so if you do not know what you're doing, because you could potentially damage something. So I don't want to see you mess up something that you purchased and you're happy with. If you have any questions about it, you're more than welcome, and I do encourage you to message me beforehand. That way I can walk you through it at the very least, if you cannot find somebody to do it for you. Now it will also come with like I said, the Ethernet wire, so you can use your internet through the router. It does not come with the USB charger wire. It does come with the controller that I did show you a few seconds ago, this one right here. It is a Sony DualShock 3, so it rumbles when you play those games that have the shakiness or whatnot, so it's more realistic, I guess. It will not come with the original box. It'll be in a plain box. What else? It will come with AV cable wires, so that you have audio video output to the TV. It also supports HDMI, so if you happen to have an HDMI cord laying around, you're welcome to set it up like that. So you can use HD. So if you have an HD TV, you can definitely take advantage of that. So there's that. As you can see, it works perfectly. No problems at all. Just a little example to show you that the the fan module is very powerful. Now normally most PS3 consoles they do not put out this much air, obviously, because the stock fan usually operates a lot slower than this, and it's a lot less noisy. So if you have to compensate for the noise control, then I would recommend that you just turn the volume up on your TV, or you wear headphones when you play, because adequate cooling is essential when it comes to these consoles. You definitely don't want to have your PlayStation 3 overheat. Now, to show you that I did take this a step further when I installed this mod and I cleaned out the console, here, let me just eject the disc and then turn it off. That way I can give you a little tour of the whole entire console itself. I did make sure to take off the warranty seal and then put it back on as professionally as I could, so that it does not say void on the side of it. Now one of the corners does look like it's peeled back a little bit, but that's okay, it's not a big deal. But as you can see, I did do a good job at putting it back without it voiding the actual warranty seal. And the cover itself, it does not slide off. I put everything back together exactly as it should be. So that's the kind of professionalism that I put behind these consoles and the mods that I install in them. So again, this is the oh yeah, serial number. That's pretty important too. Let me just shut this off. so you can see the serial number. Okay, the serial number on the back is, I don't know if you can see it, it'll take a second to focus. It is CE347236544-CECHB01. So that's the serial number of the console you'll be purchasing in this auction. And as shown in the video, it does work exactly as it should and will be set back to factory settings, so you can personalize it to your liking. And again, the fan module, if it is too loud, you are welcome to turn it down, but I do not recommend doing that without the assistance of some sort of electronics engineer, because that's basically the field that I'm in, and or someone that's very familiar with electronics in general. That way you do not damage any internal components, and you're not out a couple of $100. Again, this is a very good investment for any PlayStation 3 owner, because it will prolong the life of your PlayStation 3 and will avoid you getting any kind of overheating issues. And again, it does not drain more energy than necessary, so it operates at the standard 3.3 volts, which comes from the motherboard, goes through the fan module and to the fan. And so again, don't turn this down too much. You want to have it set to a reasonable speed so that you can hear the fan in the back, but you don't want it to be set to 100% maximum, because it'll sound like a jet taking off, and it's just not pleasant gaming for anybody because it's so loud. Although it does give adequate cooling when it comes to prolonged gaming and movie usage. And what it does also is it prevents the solder connection between the GPU and the heatsink. The solder underneath the GPU will not get brittle, because you want to basically feel warm to cool air coming out the back here. You don't want it to be hot, hot air, because that means that you're eventually going to develop the yellow light of death, which this console will not. So in that aspect, you are getting a very good deal on this PlayStation 3. And again, happy bidding. This is noahmbelli, and if you have any questions at all, feel free to message me at your earliest convenience. And I look forward to good business. All right, thank you. Bye.